Hey guys, welcome to my live stream. Good morning, welcome to my cactus live stream, vegetable live stream. I have a lot of different stuff here today. Will be cool. I have cleaned seeds yesterday. I finally managed to clean the passion fruit seeds yesterday, and I have them here. I have the strawberries, I have the pumpkin, yeah, and something that germinated that I want to look into later. And apart from that, so many different cactus seedlings that just need water. Watering is most of the work today. Hey, good morning. Great to see you. Hope you're all right. Happy Sunday. Yeah, I have so much stuff to do today. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it a little bit. I brought a lot of seedlings for watering, and I've cleaned seeds. I have the chili again here and a lot of other stuff. So yeah, great to be back. Nice to see you. I hope you're having a good weekend. So yeah, let's get started. Maybe one after the other. Hey mate, welcome to the live stream. Yeah, it's make sure to protect them. I'm here for a good hour at like minimum. So yeah. Let me just get started. I just want to set up. This is the avocado. I felt like maybe we can open this thing up to look for the seed. But the way this looks, it looks like maybe we should be doing that outside, like in the garden, because this already looks slimy. We will see. I will put it aside. I have it here for later. I wanted to wait until the seed is really ripe. So yeah, but now this thing's really shriveled up. And we will look into that. I want to see if we can maybe sow that out, but I will put it aside. Then I wanted to say something to the people who bought books to support me. I finally have the website up and running again. I had issue getting the new certificate, the new encryption certificate installed on Friday, but this morning I finally got it working. So the website with the books is back up and running. Took me a while. Been in contact with the technical customer service over this for since Friday. Yeah, and it's just so difficult to run a little website today. I guess they expected me to install the certificate myself on the server. And until that point, I had never done that. I usually always paid for the encryption for another year to make sure that the website's encrypted and all, and I always paid, and then it worked. And this time they kind of like the hosting that I have over the last years, it gotten worse. Like they've been bought up, the company has been bought up, and in the last couple of years I feel like there are less and less things included in the price that I pay. It's not cheap. I pay something like $15 now a month, and it's just a small WordPress website and a shop, so yeah, I consider moving the website to another hoster, but for now it's working. Hey, welcome to the live stream. Great to see you. Thank you for being here. I have a lot of seedlings. Want to get started with the seedlings, just watering. And then we're watering the chili. Just an update since like 2 days ago. Has grown a little bit more. I'm really happy about this one. This one came out the most beautiful. In the beginning, there were issues like some of the leaves had some sort of a weird kind of thing on them. It felt a little bit like scale. Like these scale insects. No. These will. I'm waiting for the fruit. These are going to be really spicy chili. It would be a waste to do something like that now. I will wait until they are ripe, until they have flowered and grown some fruit. I'm looking forward to that. And hey everyone, great to have you on the live stream. I will just get started watering. I have so many seedlings that we have grown here. I have the box again. The little tub for watering. And I would just bring the seedlings in one after the other and we discuss them. But most of them just need water. So these have been reported recently, looking okay, but need water now. This has last been watered maybe a day or two ago, not more than that. I try to water them the moment they get dry like this. The little ones definitely do. In the beginning, I usually have them in closed containers or sometimes in bags, like little plastic bags like this here. And after 2 or 3 months, you can then bring them out, but you have to do a lot of watering every day. Otherwise, they would dry up. They mostly consist of water at that point. So yeah, I will water them now. And then we'll see if there's anything else that I have to do. Probably, I hope not. Like there's one seedling that I want to have a closer look at that looks a little bit weak. Not happy about that. But I need to first find my equipment here. I usually have the tweezers here on the desk, but every time I clean up, I'm not finding it anymore. Here. Okay. So let's have a look at this. Here, this seedling, I don't like that. There's still seedling. You can still see it's alive, but barely. Think we will take that one out. This is just hasn't survived the stress of moving containers, moving soil. When you're repotting in the beginning, you can lose one or two that were already weak. When you started transplanting them, there was a reason I transplanted them, and it was usually that they didn't look so good in the old soil. And you can always lose some here and there. Just trying to find a trash can. Let's use this as the trash can for now. No. I like these little takeaway containers. These are great if you have stuff that you want to sort out. Okay. Want to water them again. When the soil is dry, it sometimes needs a little bit of extra love, extra watering. Hey, welcome to the live stream. Just got to do something here. We have reached a wider audience, and every now and then you also have the angry people. But again, everyone who just wants to participate in a planned live stream, you're very welcome. We're just watering little cactus seedlings here, and later we will water the chili and a few other stuff that we have grown here on the live stream. So yeah. Want to water them again now. In the beginning, it always takes a while. Apart from that, most of them look good. I'm actually pretty happy that they are growing. I don't expect these perfect looking seedlings, especially not when you're growing on so many at once. A lot of people, when they show these perfect seedlings, they don't show the 20 other containers that aren't perfect. So here we have the chance to really go through all of them and discuss what needs to be done. In this one, they need to be singled out. You could split these up over at least 3 containers. But yeah, the new soil isn't here yet. I have it ordered with DHL, and DHL has now sent me, on 2 days, sent me a message that they want to deliver, but they haven't done it. So the moment we have new soil, we will start repotting again, singling out seedlings like this. For now, we can only water them. I have a little bit of soil left, but it's probably not enough for that. So I'm trying to make extra care that they get water. When you have so many in one small container, you will always have some that don't get as much water as others. So you're trying to compensate for that. Okay. Yeah, and this can just go back. Within the next 2 or 3 weeks, we have to take these out because eventually the space will run out. Okay. So this one here, they're growing, but we might have to correct a little bit. This looks a little bit weird. I want to look into the root situation here, and I want to see if this seedling is well connected. And in order to do that, I usually water the soil to make it a little bit easier to handle. I like when the soil is so wet that you can just push the seedling in. If the soil is so dry, you can damage the root. And yet it makes things unnecessarily hard. Okay, so let me have a look at that one seedling on the side. I think we need to take that out. This here. This looks like the base is missing. Either this here had lost the base and healed, which could mean it has a chance, or this has just lost the base just recently. If the main root is missing, it will be hard for them to grow new roots in the time that they don't have so many reserves. I'm not sure what we're seeing here, but I'm a little bit disappointed at the spam that we're getting. You know, yeah. I can only tell you this is an entirely positive live stream. We're growing plants, we're growing Lobivia, we're growing Syrensia, we're growing chili, and we're getting really, really hateful comments. I hate to see that. I really hate to see that. If people weren't like that, we wouldn't have the issues that we have today. So yeah, I just want to continue. This seedling on the left here doesn't look healthy either. I want to take that one out. Okay. Yeah. And apart from that, let's have a look at the roots and see if some of them are connected to the soil. Not very well. So I want to water a little bit more so I can push the seedlings a little bit further into the soil. Thank you. I appreciate it. It's not a problem. This is just what happens when you reach the general audience. You know, I believe we were probably shown in a live feed, you know, what's currently live. And sometimes you get these people that just come to say something negative. It's not an issue. I'm used to it. I just find it sad that it is like that, you know. But yeah, it's not. Maybe 20 years ago, I might have done something similar. You know, you grow as a person. The older you get, sometimes the more you grow. So I try not to be judgmental here. Yeah. Okay. Let's continue. Thank you. I appreciate it. So let's water these here. I just want to spray them, and then we're moving one or two of the seedlings. Thank you. I greatly appreciate it. This live stream is so positive, but it usually happens the moment you reach a wider audience with people that don't know you. They just, I don't know, assume stuff about you just within 1 or 2 seconds, you know. And yeah, I'm quite unhappy with the state of social media too. You know, like how everything is so hostile today. I don't like that. So the moment you are reaching that, like when you're looking into the comment sections on totally benign stuff, people are arguing below everything. People are writing hostile stuff under everything. I don't get it. It's not a healthy way to live. So yeah, a little bit more water here. Apart from that, they look quite good. One thing that stands out is that some of the smaller seedlings, like they look totally different than the bigger ones. Seems like we are having two different types of seedlings. Apart from that, here's something that I want to take out. This is probably an expired seedling. What was left of it? Yeah. Here's a seedling that I just want to correct. It looks poorly developed. Like I said, some of those smaller seedlings, they are not really fully developed. They might be crested. This one here looks like it's variegated and also unhealthy. I will take it out. This is not the variegation that I want to have. I like healthy kind of green skin. At the very least, they have to have some sort of a capability to produce chlorophyll, and often they don't. So we are taking them out now because also it keeps the soil clean. Okay. Yeah. All right. This is great. A little bit more water because the soil has been so dried up that it often takes a while to get flexible again. Sometimes you have to water it repeatedly and you might never get it to the consistency that it had before it dried out so much. Okay, let's do the chili. Check it out. I want to water them. I'm just having a look at the flowers here. Nice white flowers. Really like these. And I'm always happy when I can bring them in the live stream. I would love to have repotted it already, and I'm waiting for the new soil. The moment the DHL brings the soil, we are repotting. I want to bring these in a bigger pot, and I'm sure they will grow fast then. So yeah, just watering it a little bit. I don't like when the leaves are completely dry and they stay dry for long, because that's not what happens in nature. In nature, like the difference between nature and inside is that outside, when you have a pest that is walking around on your plant, it constantly gets confronted with humidity, with the elements, wind, and all these things you sometimes don't have inside if you don't put up a ventilator, if you don't spray them, and that kind of thing is really cleaning off a lot of the pests, like scale. I'm not sure if we might not have had scale in the beginning, but I can't see them anymore because I've constantly watered it, washed the leaves a little bit, and that kind of stuff can really work. Needs a bigger pot, but apart from that, I'm quite happy with them. Here's a smaller one. All different cultivars, so they might have a different kind of body. This is California Reaper, so they seem to be pretty spicy. And I'm looking forward to trying that out. I don't know. I haven't tried them before. I'm not eating spicy. So this will be interesting. But for now, I'm just growing them. So just a little rain here. And then I will put that back under the lamp. I have it like on a little shelf below the lamp, below plant lamp. And they're developing nicely. They could already be twice as big if I had them in bigger pots, but we would pick up, like they will catch up once they are in the new pots. Here's another one. I can't see the label in this one, but it must be there somewhere. Like these, I had smaller labels that often fell into the pot, and now I can't find them. Like, you often have to take out the whole plant to find the label, but it's a different type of chili. So just water now. And then I will show you what I've cleaned yesterday. Yesterday I have cleaned the passion flower seeds. I did a video, posted the video, maybe you have seen it. And I want to show you what's the result of that. Let me just put that aside. So I have the seeds here on a piece of kitchen paper. I'm just trying to open it up now. Okay. So yeah, this is the remnants. I cleaned the whole thing, like all the pulp, with this kind of sieve. Ran water through the sieve until I was left with mostly seeds. Oh, we have another hateful comment. That is quite unhappy. That makes me quite unhappy. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on today, but it's not a sign of strength, to say nasty stuff. Okay. Yeah, let's get these off the paper towel. I want to sew them out sometime soon. in order to get them to a point where I can sow them out, I want to scrape them off this one. They are now stuck a little bit, but it's not bad. I just take them off, and then we're sowing some out this week, in the coming week. I'm looking forward growing passion fruit. They could be great. They could be fun to grow. Yeah, and we will see. So, yeah, and these are the seeds. Check them out. Not really. They look a little bit like a melon seed. Sometimes you have to dry them a little thoroughly. They have been dry since yesterday. Sometimes the seeds need a little longer to kind of get into the mode where they germinate. They have some sort of a natural protection against germinating inside the fruit, because that would be bad for them, just evolutionary. If a plant just already germinates before it's even out on the soil, it often doesn't survive. So they have some sort of a protection, but it could already be that one day dry is enough. It really depends on every plant separately. Like, that is greatly variable. But I want to at least sow out maybe 3 or 4 of these. Okay. Let me get a knife here, like a butter knife, one without a blunt object here, just to get off the seeds. Sometimes after cleaning, they get stuck to the piece of kitchen paper, so you just have to scrape them off carefully. Again, nothing sharp, just something blunt that you can remove them from the piece of paper, kitchen paper, that they are on. You can also dry them on cardboard, but I like this more. But cardboard also has benefits, like this here. Sometimes it's tearing, like you have a tear, and the seeds fall into the layers. Like, this has multiple layers, and sometimes you can get seeds that get stuck in between somewhere in the towel. But yeah, I will continue this later. For now, we have many seeds that we can sow out. They have an interesting kind of structure, like a little grainy structure on the seed. I would love to have a closer look, like with a microscope. They look interesting. So we will sow them out. We will sow out passion fruit within the next days. Moment I have the new soil, we will do that. So here's the seeds from yesterday, and a few more that are still on the paper towel. But this is the majority of them. And yeah, that is just from one fruit. So personally, I rarely, I try to, when I want to grow vegetables or that kind of stuff, I try to get them on the market, or in a, in an organic store. Sometimes you can find really cool cultivars in an organic kind of little, I don't know how they are called in the United States, organic store. In Germany, they call them Bioladen, bio store, something like that. Okay, let's continue to water the seedlings, by the way, because I have so many of them that I want to go through. These here have been repotted just recently. They now need water. I want to get them used to the new medium, just starting to compress the soil a little, just having that classic rain every time, like what we've been doing with the chili. Okay. Yeah, and they're looking decent. They don't have to grow super fast. We could water them more. We could push them harder. But that would also mean that other problems could arise, you know? Right now we're growing them relatively organically, just at the pace, like every time the soil dries up, we are watering it. And you could also water them all the time, fertilize them all the time, keep them wet all the time. But that would bring in other problems with the roots. You might have faster growing seedlings, but you might lose more. So trying to find the middle ground here. Yeah. So these will come back under the lamp now. Might correct one or two of the seedlings in there. But yeah, not much to do here. They're looking good. They just need a little bit more water. So I can't really miss any kind of watering days. But that's all. Coming back under the lamp now. So the next one, also more water. They've been reported. Maybe we have to clean up. One or two look like they might have issues. This is a Uwe Kahle hybrid from 2024. Zizala is the mother, crossed with Kazoa. Interesting kind of, like, I know Zizala, the mother. Interesting flower. I have no idea how the father looks like. Yeah, this one needs out. This one needs to be removed. This is remnants of a seedling. Sometimes they don't survive the repotting. It just happens. Especially when, like, there was usually a reason that I repot. And if the seedlings have been damaged before, like if there was an issue in the old soil, sometimes you can't correct it in time for the seedlings, for all of them. You will always lose a few here and there. And I'm just cleaning up here, making sure that the soil isn't contaminated, doesn't have so many remnants of seedlings. You know, they're starting to decay, and that is quite unhealthy for the soil. So a little bit more water now. And then I will let that dry out. Think the next time I'm having to water this is going to be tomorrow, or maybe the day after. It will depend on where I place that thing under the lamp. The best spots under the lamp dry up the fastest, but usually everything should be dry within 24 hours. I rather water more often than keeping everything wet for forever. You could also put them somewhere where the water can't run away, but that brings in other problems. A lot of root issues with too much humidity at the roots. So again, when you're growing seedlings, you're always trying to find a middle ground between too much and too little water. So these here are growing, having this weird yellowish kind of color, but they had that from the beginning. So watering them now. And I have to water these a few times. This is going to take a while. Yeah. And then I want to move one or two of the seedlings a little bit deeper into the soil. I want them to have a perfect connection to the soil. And sometimes when you have seedlings that are a little bit elongated, etiolated slightly, they kind of become unstable, leaning over. And you can fix that by putting them a little deeper in the soil. That's what I want to do here. Okay. Just correcting the seedlings a little bit. Some of them are just not straight in the soil. And that is sometimes not so good. Like compared to when you have them perfectly straight, they get less there's less oxygen that gets to the seedling, all around the seedling. So yeah, trying to have them a little bit upright moves them away from the soil, because at soil level there are also many pests. Yeah. And it's also important that the seedlings are very firmly in the soil. And when you're watering after repotting, they sometimes get loose and you have to move them a little bit firmer into the soil again then when that happens. When you're dealing with little seedlings, you often repot, and the seedlings are never perfectly the way they are supposed to be. Eventually something will happen where you have to correct a little bit. These here, relatively small, not growing fast, but they are growing. They're still here. So at the very least, they need water. They have spines, so I can actually see them turning out nicely in the end, despite the fact that they're a little smaller now. About these, I'm not so worried. They just need to be watered, and it can't be forgotten because they are so small. Because they are a little bit, you know, they have maybe half the diameter some of the other seedlings have. Let me see what the label says here. This could also mean that they are just a different type of cactus. So let's have a look at the label. Oh, come on. Now it's down, completely down in the pot. Not a chance. I gotta leave it in. I will never get me these small labels again. Hey mate, thank you for the support. I appreciate it. Greatly appreciate it. Helps me to run this thing. So yeah, thank you. I'm doing my best to put together a lot of content again this year. So I'm on it. Already doing a lot in the live stream. And if you have questions, you're always welcome to ask in the live stream, you know. Thank you. Okay. So yeah, they are watered, well watered. And this is the type of seedling that I want under the lamp, and a good position under the lamp, really, where it gets a lot of sunlight, a lot of, like, the soil dries up a little faster. That allows me to water again and fertilize again. Over here I have something that is interesting just to look at, because you have such a wild difference between the seedlings. You have these little green ones here. And I think there are three. Here's another one down there. And yeah, they are growing healthily, like the green ones, and the others were all poorly developed. The mother plant here was a misplant hybrid between a columnar hybrid, columnar trichocero, something like that, and a grandiflora, Lobivia grandiflora, having like that black throat, you know, all these interesting hybrids, like the Zelli hybrids. And genetically, sometimes it comes out like this, where you have these variegated or sick polydeveloped seedlings. We will see what we do with them, but for now they have not grown one bit in the last couple of months or so. This is already 2 months old, 2 or 3 months already, and the only ones that are growing are the green ones. So that is why I personally would not really want to invest too much time with excessive variegation. I don't like these excessively unhealthy variegated plants that are just kept around by grafting them. That is such a big disadvantage. Like, everyone who buys them, like usually the people who see that cactus somewhere and are impressed by the color, and then something happens to the stock and they don't have the means to graft again. And very often these plants just disappear. And I really don't like that. Like, genetically, that is where I, as a breeder, kind of feel a little bit responsible to not make it worse with them. If they carry a gene where you can get like more interesting monstrose seedling, something like that, then I make an exception, because that's a big benefit. But I'm often not seeing them in these completely white or completely yellow seedlings. So this here needs water, just water. Seedlings are from a sister of Born to be Wild, interesting Lobevia, and this is the type of stuff that I want to grow inside in the future. These are like in the past, when I brought the plants into the greenhouse in the first year, sometimes the seedlings are not so frost tolerant as the bigger ones. So I just decided I will keep them in a little longer. Gives me a longer chance to control the environment, make sure that they don't get drip water, or that there's not a slug in the greenhouse eating the seedlings that I have raised for a year. I just feel like it's very easy to lose the seedlings within the first year. So now I will try to keep them in. And it's a lot of additional work that comes into that. Okay, so these here were Teleflora seedlings, variegated. You barely see them if you don't water. But yeah, for now they are growing. I think it's Teleflora. No? A hybrid, multi-hybrid. So very unusual kind of color. I would spray them now a few times, and then I would see if we can maybe correct the seedlings, like correct the position a little bit. Yeah, by the way, let me put this aside. I want to show you the strawberries. So I have that big box here. And this is the stuff that we've been sowing out. I wanted to show you this. So let me just open it up. And I really like the containers for sowing out. And yeah, this is the pumpkin. This is going to be a monster plant. I'm really worried, and it needs to come in a much bigger pot. Yeah. When the new pots have arrived, I have a few that are, but they are probably not big enough for what that kind of a plant needs. And yeah, this is my first pumpkin that I've grown. I didn't expect it to be this big, to be honest. Yeah, but I just wanted to show you it's coming. It's growing. And this here are the strawberries. Check it out. White strawberries. I have never grown strawberries in any form. This is just the first time. And yeah, this is looking good. This is really looking good. I'm looking forward to that. I will keep them in this thing for now, and I will close the lid again right away. I want to avoid that fungus gnats come in here. Let me see if I have everything. Everything is clean. Okay. Yeah, and that pumpkin needs to be repotted very soon. Pumpkin needs to be repotted in something much bigger, and I will make sure that it doesn't get out. I heard stories about pumpkins growing everywhere suddenly, and I want to avoid that. Okay, so wanted to show you something. Here's a seedling that has germinated. Check it out. Let's have a look at what it is. So for one, I want to take out the plant here because I've seen that we might have to remove the remnants of the seed hull, like that outer shell. That gets moldy. I can see mold on here, and so I'm taking that off now. And that allows the seedling to open up. Very often this gets kind of, the plant kind of gets rid of that when they break through the soil. But when you're growing them like this, that sometimes doesn't happen, you know? So I try to get it off carefully, just without injuring the plant. Okay, good. So this will open up now. So let me have a look at what it is. Oh, this is watermelon. This is a watermelon cultivar. Watermelon hybrid Lachko. That's what it said. I'm not sure what it is. But we now have watermelon too. Pretty happy about that. And when the new pot comes, I will put that in right away. This one's, I'm sure this will need a bigger pot too. Okay. Yeah, just needed to show you that. I'm very happy about that. Okay. So let's have a look at the seedlings again. They now had time to soak a little. The soil was so dry that I wanted it to sit a little. So here's a very nice seedling, really healthy one, but it's unstable. Trying to get it into the soil. Totally understand how that is. So I'm trying to give it a chance. And I fixed that. It's a little deeper in the soil now. And if sometimes that is just necessary. Okay. I've been correcting some of the other seedlings just gently, pushing them a little bit deeper into the soil. I'm a little bit worried because all of these seedlings are too small and they look too dehydrated. In view of the water that they get, they shouldn't be this dehydrated. I'm worried something might be with the roots, something might be wrong with the soil, and if this doesn't get better, we will repot them. Okay. Next ones. Here's one where we repotted and it looks okay. Looks okay. Might have to correct one or two of the seedlings here, but nothing bad. This is how I like it, when you can really see that the seedlings are a little bit above the soil. You don't have soil all around them. You don't have that puffiness of the soil. Eventually, they will be nicely, perfectly in the soil and can grow. So for now, just water. In this case, I'm really happy with the way they look. I had cleaned that up recently and it shows. When you're growing seedlings, sometimes they don't have to look perfect, you know? I've been trying to move them a little to see if all the roots are healthy. The ones that have given in, like that have given way a little bit, I put them a little deeper into the soil. Yeah, and apart from that, just water. And this comes back. This could even be in a more shady spot near the lamp. Sometimes when the seedlings are really healthy, I try to put the weaker ones into the best spots. And the healthier ones like this, I would put into the shade. They are not as much at risk as the other seedlings. Okay, so here, similar situation. I want to start watering, and then we will see if we have to clean up a little, push the seedlings in. But overall, this is okay. Okay. Yeah, here was a seedling that I just put a little deeper. Here's one that's too crooked. I don't like that. And very often that happens when you have seedlings where you have multiple seedlings sticking to each other with the roots. And that can sometimes mess up. The moment you try to push one seedling correctly into the soil, the other one is pushed into another direction again. So keeping seedlings separate can really help if you're having issues controlling them. Yeah, apart from that, it looks okay. Just more water. This will dry up again until tomorrow, and that is enough. Those can also go into a more shady spot. In this one, good and bad, I'm seeing that here's a seedling that we lost. Yeah. I want to take that out. The skin, just skin and spines. Hard to tell what happened, but usually it's the stress, or they had already a root problem before we moved them. Here's a stone, little petal that I want to take out. Here's a piece of wood that I also want to take out, just so I have a clean top layer. Hey, welcome to the live stream. Great to see you. A lot of watering again. And I had quite a lot of different vegetables on the live stream today. Everything's growing and I'm proud, you know, very happy. Okay, yeah, and outside we're almost ready. I'm just preparing the area where we can live stream outside in the garden. And that will happen within the next days. First live stream. Maybe I'm live streaming when I'm trying to repair the pond. Trying to find the hole in the pond. And I will start now. Outside it's already beautiful. The birds are already chirping. Thank you. Yeah, I'm really unhappy because there's these big roots that are everywhere. And I try to, it's not so easy to get below them to see where they have damaged the foil, but I will find it. I will make sure to find it. I have seen how necessary, how important that pond is, you know. So many animals, like during the day, I see so many animals just being there, like birds washing themselves, you know. And at night you have all these different animals of the forest that drink out of it. So I want to make sure that everything's all right. And yeah, every time I filled it up, within a few days, the water was gone again. So I'm really trying to find the hole, and I will not stop until I have it. I will take it out everywhere around. Yeah, when I first saw a badger in my garden, I couldn't believe it. I had never seen them before, like in real life, you know, like in a garden, in nature. And it was mind-blowing. A really cool animal. And yeah, that just happens when you have healthy nature, where they find something to eat, where they find something to drink. Yeah, and I'm happy. I hope that I can get that thing working again very soon. Yeah, and the watering for the cacti has started, like the greenhouses. I now have that water sprayer thing that helps me to water, and it saves me so much time. And yeah, I've seen that. By the way, we might actually get the first cactus flower very soon. I've seen that Scopolycola, my big Echinopsis Scopolycola, it has a big flower. And it looks like it might be opening within the next months already. So maybe we're doing a video then when that flower opens. Okay. So these need water. Have barely grown in the last months. I'm quite unhappy to see how slow they have been growing. Not how a normal seedling should look like after all this time. These are the Hildewinterer and Telefloras, you know. So I will just water them now. I expect that these might take a year longer than usually. Thank you. I believe in it. I will find that hole. I will not give up. Okay, and then I have another pond that I also have to do, like a bigger one even. But for now, just a small one. Starting with the small one first. Okay. Yeah, then I want to move a few seedlings that look like they're crooked in the soil. You see, these are very small. So it really matters if they are well positioned in the soil or not. Trying to get them a little deeper, trying to straighten them out. And that can greatly increase their chances to survive. The seedlings look okay in the soil, you know, it's not that they are not connected enough to the soil, they just don't grow. They have barely grown compared to so many of the others. Okay. Yeah, these here, let's water them so we can see them. They're really close to the soil, have also not grown much here. I have seen that 1 or 2 seedlings have fallen over. I want to correct that. Just getting them into the soil again. These here, but soil is still too dry. Okay. Yeah, most of the seedlings needed a little bit of correction, just straightening their position a little bit in the soil. Connection with the soil needs to be good. And yeah, I really don't want them to be surrounded by soil. And that is difficult when the seedlings are not very tall. These are so small that they are close to the soil level. And that always brings problems like damping off. Gotta keep an eye on them. They're not looking like they should. Then here, I have a container that only had 3 weak seedlings, but they are growing. Yeah, these are 4, by the way. I found another one. But both Humcus Roro, Hildewinterer Echinopsis hybrid, not very genetically healthy, but they are still there. They are still growing for now. 1 or 2 of them even have spines. So it could be that we will get a cactus from them eventually. We will see. Just water now here. Maybe within the next days, I want to fertilize them again now. It's time. Thank you. Thank you. I actually had planned to wear something else, but I looked into the camera and said, you can't keep that on. You need to get something different. And then I just grabbed this one because I like the color. It's a great color. The series is called Island Birds, and they put out a few different things, really everything nice. They are like, in regards to the color, there are not many things that are made for men that have flowers, that have, you know, those kind of floral motifs. They are not selling so much of that for men, and I always find that sad because I would wear it, you know. Okay. These here are the Echinopsis glauca, and I'm glad that I have them. They look horrible. They are small, poorly developed genetically, you know, but they are still there, and I'm happy about that. I feel like maybe we can save them. Maybe we can get them to a large size where we can actually see the flower. That would be awesome. But they are a little bit on the verge right now. Just too small. They just grow too slow. Not really healthy. But they have spines, you know. It's not that there's not a chance. We just have to be very careful or we will lose them. Or at least some of them. Can't forget the watering here because they are so weak, you know. They are so weak that they might need a little extra water. Okay. Then here, I have repotted these just recently, and the one thing that I want to fix is that seedling here. That shouldn't be lying there. So I will just water and then I can move that seedling back into the soil. Might take a little until the water has soaked in. This was also very dry. Sometimes it's good to do it a little earlier, not wait too long. There's like dry can have a huge range from where something is just dry to where something is so dry that it never becomes flexible again. Take care, mate. Okay. Yeah, a little bit more water, and then I believe I can start moving the seedling here. I will also try to see if the others are good in the soil. But the big problem is just that one seedling here and one that is directly besides it. They might be connected at the root. So I'm taking them apart now. I just want to have that seedling a little bit better in the soil. So I'm trying to put it in center here. That is usually a decent spot for the weak seedlings. The root section didn't look good. That could explain why it was lying there. Pests always attack the root section. I mean, they're also the ones that are sucking like on the skin. But in this young age, most of the problems that you encounter have to do with pests are root related. Fungus gnats that are eating the roots, mealybug that are eating the roots. So I'm always very aware of what happens on the soil. So a little bit more water here. Then I might have to correct a little bit again. When you're watering, every time you're watering, it kind of changes again. But you need to know that whatever you did there will be enough, will fix the problem. If everything happens again next time you're watering, then that's not good. These seedlings don't have a lot of time, you know. Okay, these here, Teleflora, some of them looking better than others. Some of them bigger than others. I will just water here, and then we will probably correct just a few of the seedlings, making sure that they are in the soil. Yeah, I'm already happy to have a few of them here that look like they will eventually get big, survive, just do what a normal plant does, you know. I'm already very happy about that, because when you're dealing with Teleflora, everything is possible. You can have healthy offspring and you can have weak offspring. So soil is still a little bit too dry, so I will spray it here. And once it has soaked in, then we will try to move the seedlings, correct them. I'm a little bit unhappy that the seedlings are so low in the soil, pretty close to the soil already, but these are just not very big yet. A lot of genetic issues with these. Even if you have healthy seedlings, they might be growing much slower than others. Okay, so I'm just fixing the seedlings, making sure that everything is connected, that everything is in the soil. Here's a seedling that just fell over when I watered. Trying to pick that one up, and the root already looks bad here. Sometimes you have seedlings that are weak for a reason. Okay. Yeah, and I expect that a lot of the weak seedlings that we see here, that they will not stand a chance long term to be around. Okay. Quite a few of these seedlings are just unhealthy little round green blobs. Like they don't even have spines. If they will eventually fail, if they will eventually expire, then that, you know, then you can't change it. Okay. So next ones here, these have been reported recently. And when that happens, it always takes a while until soil has settled. Needs more water now. Also to have that constant sinking of the soil. Every time you're watering, the soil sinks a little in. And that can be good after repotting, you know, because they are finally growing into their new soil. And that means you're probably through the worst. If the seedlings are still looking like they grow, that can be great. Okay. Just gonna look at the if my smartphone is charging. Always careful, like with the battery. When I'm live streaming, my smartphone has energy for maybe an hour. So I'm always trying to, like, the battery runs out in maybe an hour. So I always try to get it to charge while I'm live streaming. Okay. Yeah, for now this is good. Let me see what the label says. These are Uvocale seedlings. Kitampo crossed with Kinky. These are the two parents that are involved here. Uvocale hybrids. Flowers are usually great. So we will just see what happens. These here look okay. I want to do more of that, like with the pumice in between the seedlings. I want to do more of that in the future, just a little bit, to create an additional barrier for pests. But I don't want to put up a 100% covering layer like some people do with minerals. I don't want to have that closed covering layer on top of the actual soil. I want to see how the soil looks with one view, with one look. I want to know what's going on in the soil and how dry it is. But yeah, that kind of, I feel like it helped them a little bit. Helped them a little bit to be protected, helped them a little bit to be separate from the soil. Okay. Yeah, and also in this one, it looks like the seedlings are finally starting to settle into the new pot. Those have also been reported. Okay. These here need water. A lot of variegation in this one. Yellowish growth, unhealthy growth. Here you can see a green seedling. Just to show you what kind of range there is. These need water now. The variegated seedlings need more of it. They are easier to lose. They just dehydrate faster, probably because they aren't capable of making up for the water that they're losing so fast, because something is missing that is needed. Yeah, but some of them grow. They actually grow. I feel like they might at least be able to produce a partial amount of chlorophyll, meaning they could survive on their own root. Okay. Yeah, then these here. Also new soil, starting to look a little better here. They need to be watered. Everything needs to be a little cleaned, needs to sink in a little lower. I will look into that, trying to check the seedlings if they are all well connected, but this looks okay. I'm not expecting much. Like I always say, I just want them to grow, to survive. Everything else we will deal with later. They don't have to be beautiful within the first year. I know that eventually when you have a big plant, they will blow everyone away and nobody cares if you had, like, if a seedling looked weak in the beginning. Okay. Yeah, most of them have a pretty solid connection to the soil. Here's something that we need to clean up. This is a weak seedling. Let me touch it. It still feels like it might still be alive. There's still some kind of, sometimes you feel like the cells are already breaking down. You don't feel that yet, but it's already feeling a little unhealthy. I think we will move that one out. Yeah, this is not, this doesn't have a chance. I can see it in the trend, in that milky green kind of look that some of the seedlings have. For now, I want to water them. And then we are moving on to the next ones. Let me see what this is. Yeah, Uwe Kahle seedlings from 2024. Not sure what the parents are. It only says the number, but that's okay. So I want to fill up the water. I brought me a little water glass, in case I need more, because I saw how much watering I have to do today. So let me just get this here, and I'm filling up a little. Oh. Okay. All right. So next one. These here need water. I've repotted them just recently. This is new soil, and they just need to get used to that new soil. Here's a seedling that we need to take out. Expired little seedling that was massively delayed. Yeah, we will take that out. And then we will make sure that the seedlings are really good in the soil. If that isn't happening, then we're continuing. So just spraying it for the first time, because I'm sure that this will take a while to settle in. So now I'm waiting for everything to kind of soak. And when it's gone, I need to spray them again. First time you often don't have the right humidity to do something with seedlings. And water really helps here. So let me see. This one here feels a little wiggly. Trying to get it a little deeper into the soil. The one besides it is okay. This one here, trying to get this one a little deeper. Pushing, like I often create a little hole besides the root, and then I try to push that thing in there. Getting it a little deeper in the soil. That connection is really important. And sometimes you can't really see how much water a seedling can take in. That's greatly dependent on how healthy the root is. And even if you give enough water, if the seedling isn't correctly in the soil, it might not be able to take it in, or at least not in the time that it has, that the soil needs to dry. So this is the seedling that I wanted to take out. Weak seedling, expired seedling. Here's a piece of wood that I want to take out. A lot of the sowing soil that you get has pieces of wood in it. It's not a huge deal breaker. I'm not one of the people that say that wood and cacti is impossible, but it's just something that takes much longer to dry. A piece of wood will dry much slower than if you have it finely ground, perfectly even kind of medium. And when you have these little pieces of wood everywhere in between, it can be a hotspot for pests. It can be just cause that damping off, because at that spot where the wood is, the water just doesn't disappear all of the time. Sometimes The soil is dry, but there's still humidity in between that piece of wood and the seedling. So here's a seedling that needs to be a little bit deeper still. Still not perfectly happy here. One thing that I notice is that a bunch of the seedlings are relatively loose here. After repotting, you really have to make sure that they are growing into it, that they can grow into it. Okay. So this is all right. I'm happy with this. This can go back to the lamp. We'll get water every 24 hours roughly, just to keep them alive. Okay. Next ones here. A little bit wild, and we will clean that up now. I want to spray them, and then we try to get them a little bit more into shape, you know, like have that pot. Look, there's like a system in there. And it will take a while until the soil is ready. Okay. Yeah, first thing I want to do is fix that seedling here that is leaning over. And I realized instantly it wasn't even fully in the soil. That seedling would have just gotten smaller and smaller over the next month. If you don't realize it's happening, you feel like you're watering, but they are getting smaller and smaller. Okay, yeah, and here also 1 or 2 seedlings that I don't know that have something at the root, like a big piece of the big root ball that needs to be handled adequately to get it into the soil. Okay. I really try to avoid having these crooked seedlings that are leaning over. Feels like they are generally weaker. At the very least, it is easier to lose them. Okay, a little bit more water now. Okay. Yeah, and when you're watering again, every time something can change again, that tells you that that seedling wasn't really firm in the soil to begin with. If that happens, it is a sign to me to fix it correctly the second time, you know? Okay, I'm happy now. This is okay. They will need a while to settle into the new pot, into the new soil. Just needs to be sprayed, needs to be watered. Soil will dry within 24 hours roughly. And I wouldn't water this more than once a day. So this is one where I really need to do something, and we need to look into why they are not well in the soil. So I will water that. Maybe we have to repot them. This looks a little bit like first generation soil, but I'm not sure. I have a little bit of soil left, but it's not much. It's not. I don't think it's enough to move the seedlings into it. I will try to fix it now to just get them in the soil again. But this container is on the list of seedlings that need to be repotted. What is it? This FAS 11. FAS 11 seedlings, Lobivia hybrid FAS 11, really interesting. I like it. I would love to. I think we will move them. Let me see how much soil we have here. Oh no, but this is going to be a huge mess. Everything's wet. Let's try it out. I would see if I have enough soil for one pot. If we do, we will move the seedlings from this one container into the new one. They are not looking like, the soil is just not giving me a good feeling. I'm like, the vibes are all off. It's just feeling like the pH level might be wrong. I just don't like the look of the top layer of soil, like that, the way that stuff looks like there. So let me try to get enough soil for repotting them. Always got to be careful, like that my cat didn't think that the pot of soil that I use here is a cat toilet. Always got to be careful and look into it first. Okay. So this is how I want to pot them up. This is where they will go into sowing soil now. New soil. Come on. Yeah, and I will I will spray the soil now, the new soil where the seedlings will come in. I will place them on top of the soil here, and yeah, slowly taking one out, moving them into the new pot, and then I'm trying to plant them in there. So I'm just carefully pulling them out of the soil here, one after the other, placing them on top of the soil. This is a good cross. This is a good Lobivia as a mother. So it can definitely make sense to grow them, to repot them. And I want to do that now. And welcome back, mate. Great to see you again. When I'm moving the seedlings now, I really try to get rid of unnecessary soil that gets stuck at the base, like at the root. Sometimes you have, like here, this is a good example. This is too much soil. This is not, like the more soil you bring into the new container from the old one, the higher the risk that you spread something from the old container into the new one too. And I try to always just remove to the point where the root really starts. And it's usually easiest to feel that with the fingers, to just carefully touch that root section and feel where it really starts. In the future, I will have a lot of the Lobivia inside. Lobivia, I love them. I really like to grow them. They have beautiful flowers. And I feel like there's a lot of potential to combine them, to combine the beautiful flower colors that they have in Lobivia with Trichocereus, with a columnar plant that has a nice big flower then, but with the colors of Lobivia, that could be amazing. So I like to continue to grow them a little bit, but you need a lot of space. They are not the type of plants that you can just put somewhere in a shady spot in between. They need a lot of respect. They need a lot of good sun, a good sunny spot. And yeah, that it's not easy to grow them if you don't have a good greenhouse with a good shelf where they are high up, nice way up in the sun. I now have them on a big shelf to get them closer to the roof, and that helps. They look good, but they are blocking a lot of space. They are blocking a lot of space that I could also use for stuff that has much bigger flowers. So I'm always torn about Lobivia. I like them very much, and at the same time, I feel like I might have to get out of it a little bit. Eventually, the flower size is still much smaller than on some of the more modern hybrids that we have, you know? Okay. Yeah, it could be that we will have more seedlings that fit into the pot. Okay. I would usually spread these out over two containers, but I don't have that kind of soil anymore. I only have classic vegetable soil, and I'm not sure if I want to use that for the seedlings. Probably not. When DHL comes with the new soil, we will continue to split up. Seems like all the stuff that I ordered has kind of overloaded them. Getting new pots, new soil, that kind of stuff, you know? Like everything I need for the season. Little bit of technical equipment. But nothing, you know, nothing expensive. Just cheap stuff that I need. And that will help me to film the season this year. Okay, check out how many seedlings are in this pot. I would slowly, when we're done, we're slowly potting them up into the new soil. But I'm not even done yet. Like so often, there are too many seedlings here. Okay. So this is the last one. Here's a seedling in center, but it already has an orange kind of discoloration at the tip. Yeah, this looks weird. This looks weird. Maybe it's just a stress reaction. I will try to bring it into the new pot, but it really has a visible discoloration that I don't like. We will see what we do with it. Okay. But this is the old pot. This is the old soil. I will reuse that in the garden somewhere. I hope she's all right. Yeah. I'm sorry to hear, and I hope your mom's all right. Yeah. It's kind of I know how it is when you're dealing with parents with health problems. It's really like one of the things that has really affected me personally in the last years, and one of the things that I never thought it would affect me. So yeah, that's great to hear. I'm very happy to hear that, and I hope it continues like that. Yeah. Okay. So I will spray them now, just giving them a little water, and then I will start moving the seedlings into the soil. Okay. I believe you. I believe you. Yeah. Like both of my parents are really having a lot of health issues, and I'm not dealing well with it. I just, if it were just, you know, if it's yourself, you don't really worry so much. But the people that you really like, that you really love, the fact that you can't really, you know, that you have so sometimes that you can't change stuff sometimes, like age, you know, my parents are getting older. It's really a weird kind of feeling that I'm not doing well with. Yeah. I hope I can be of help. I'm always there if I can, you know, if you need mental support, I'm always there. I'm rooting for you. So yeah, really hope everything works out perfectly. So just continue the way you're doing now. If everything's going great, then just continue. Just try to ride the wave. Okay. So yeah, moving the little seedlings here into the soil one by one. and that will take a while. Moving seedlings, like it's really easy to sow them out, but moving them like in a way that keeps them alive is really difficult. So in the future, no container will have more than 30 seeds. I don't want to say there might not be an exception at like when there's a good reason to have more than 30 seeds, maybe. But everything else, like there must be a reason for it. Can't sow out like that anymore. Gotta be more responsible. Thank you. I really try. I really try. Okay. Yeah, this is going to take a while. And they are so easy to bend, easy to injure that I'm really careful about that. Like when I'm pushing them into the soil, that can really be dangerous. Like that section is so easy to bend, and once it's broken, it's just not okay anymore. I'm sure you will love the live stream when we're outside within the next couple of weeks or so. So check that out. Like when the flower season is happening, I have planned a really calming, relaxing live stream. I would just put the camera on a flower and let the bees and all that stuff go in the background, you know? That could be great in summer. I'm looking forward to that. I would love to do it already, but the plants need a little longer with the flowering. I usually have the first wave of flowers around the end of May. Maybe starting with a few lobelia flowers in April, but most of the flower starts end of May, then June. Like the beginning of June is one of the busiest times. Thank you. Yep, you can. It's okay. Thank you. I like in Germany they don't really call you Pat, but I'm honored. I'm honored. So thank you. So yeah, need more water a little bit to get a little bit more visibility to get them back to where I can just push them into the soil. Okay. So yeah, and anyone who had gotten a book over the last couple of weeks, everything's prepared. Like we're packing books in the next days. I have the first pickup next week, and then another pickup the week after. So everything on a good path here. Any problems, just send me a message and I'm happy to help. The website was had like the certificate was expired, and I got a new one on Friday, and now it's also installed. Yeah, like it's usually like misplanned, you know, like the breeder misplanned. His name's Pat. That's what I always like. In order to distinguish between us, I usually called him Pat. So that's the only circumstance when I use an abbreviation like that. So I just found it funny. Okay, yeah. We're getting somewhere. Check it out. Here's a little update. It looks a little bit like chaos, but we're working on it. Eventually, all the seedlings will be where they need to be. And then I hope that the new soil will be good for them, that they will respond nicely. We might have to report again in 6 months. But for now, this is okay. I just want them in a new soil. The old one, there is a point when the pH of the old one just doesn't really isn't perfectly healthy anymore. And even if you have a pH buffer, something might be off with the soil, and it could just be that it had gotten so dry that it screwed up the pH level. Okay. I can hear the birds from throughout the window. I think it's too late. I think it's too late to change the name now. But I'm always ready. I already have like Patrick Noll in the name of the live stream or in the name of the channel. The name doesn't really matter. If it really causes problems, I'm not really, think they might have started to use certain auto moderators, and the name jerk might already be something that they pick up on. We will see how it goes with YouTube. And I'm waiting for new stuff for the live stream, by the way. I have ordered little flyers for the live stream, and I'm really looking forward to that. I can't wait to show them to you when they are here. Also, unfortunately, still on the road with DHL. But it's coming. Yeah, exactly. I will look into it. I think it might be too late to change the name now. Feel like social media just has to feel like it's not that bad of a word, So we will see. I will look into that. You can just call me Patrick, or call me Pat, like you said. Over the years, I thought about, different names that I could use to do my stuff. And in my personal opinion, it wouldn't really matter what name I use. It would always be the same kind of content, It's always the same way I do my stuff. Okay. I'm almost done here. I'm looking forward to being done with these. This is really a lot of work. Moving seedlings is a lot less fun than sowing out, I can tell you that. I enjoy sowing out. I do not enjoy doing this here. It's okay. We will see, we will see. It's not so. It has a lot of disadvantages to change branding, and I wouldn't change branding on a hunch. I would really. We will see. I personally think like that kind of constant. They're constantly over moderating. Like we have gotten like all these TikTok videos have gotten us to a point where everyone where we can't speak normally anymore, like a lot of words that they are starting to take away, like naughty words like in the 70s, and I don't believe in that. because that is the kind of stuff where they kind of lose the support of the people. Like in the last 10 years, the media was overcorrecting in many ways, like doing too much, trying to police people and the way they talk, trying to artificially change the way people talk. And I just, I'm a little bit more hesitant with that, when it's about that. So we will see. I will keep an eye. I will really think about this. Like I said, if at some point I feel like on YouTube this could be an issue, the branding is already not in the title of the videos, or in the title of the live stream, so they might not really see it as an issue. And if they do, we will see. I might as well just change one letter. Could write one word slightly differently. Yeah, but at this point, I've been having that channel for 8 years now. Eight or nine. It's going to be into the 9th year now. I think if I would rename the channel, I would just call it the way, I would just write something like Livestream with Patrick, something like that. Or, I wouldn't really, like, the more you do with branding, you have to have all the domains, you have to have them on every platform, It's not just that you change the name on YouTube, then you have people that use the same name on other platforms, You have to really be original when you do something like that. I usually, when I use something as a name, I usually register me the domain name. You need to be, you need to be visible on social media. If you do something, you don't have to put content on there on all the platforms, but you just have to have some sort of a profile. And that's already difficult. Sometimes the names are already taken. Hey, take care, mate. Hope you have a great day today. Enjoy your Sunday. I'm also not that long in the live stream anymore, but I definitely want to finish these here. Check it out. Here's an update. I want to spray them again. Then it will look a little cleaner here, hopefully. Okay. Now I pulled on one seedling and another one came out with it. Okay. Yeah, but in totality, this looks okay. Moving seedlings of this size is really not easy. You have to be more careful because the root is so sensitive, so tiny. But this will be okay now. They will sink in. They are not looking straight now. We will fix that later. I just want to put them in the soil now, new soil. The soil will settle now, and then they will be watered again tomorrow. When everything has dried up, I really want this to dry up now, and tomorrow I will get that again. These here need water. Really small seedlings, not a lot of growth. Lobevia. What? Let me see, what's that? Oh, Lobevia cecheri crossed with Sörensia candicans. Yeah, that is interesting. Okay. Some of the seedlings are way too small. We'll try to make up for the watering. These might need a little bit more water than they can take in. Like when you only water them once the soil dries up, it could be that they don't have enough time because the soil dries so fast. These are also the kind of size that I would want under a good spot, at a good spot under the lamp. Nothing that I would want to put in the shade. These here, need to fix that lying seedling here. Just want to show that. Spraying them. Let me see what it is. What? This is a Echinopsis multi-hybrid, like multi-hybrid with Sörensia telegona and Echinopsis and Goldrose. Hartmut Kellner hybrid, Goldrose. Really good hybrid. A lot of potential. They're still very small though. Got to do a lot to keep them healthy, to not lose them. Okay. Okay, here's a seedling that needs to be a little deeper in the soil. And when I try to push it into the soil, I try not to do it with the, with the spiky end. Really trying to just add pressure without the spiciness. Here's a seedling that I want to correct that has fallen over. Root section still looks okay. Sometimes when they fall over, they don't have a healthy root. In this case, I could see it, so it's still there. It might be weak, unhealthy, but there's still a root. These need more water, and these need to be watered twice a day. They are just too dehydrated. Not like what I see here. Take care, mate. I will be offline within the next 10 or 15 minutes. But yeah, it was great to have you here again. Hope you're having a great Sunday today. Yeah, and I will wrap this up here. Just watering a little bit more and then I'm offline. Maybe 10 more minutes. Still happy to take a question or two if you like. If not, I'm just preparing everything, just watering the plants that are still left that we didn't get through today. There are more seedlings than I can water. And I usually try to do that like at the end of the live stream, everything that didn't get to watering, I will give it a little water then. Yeah, and overall, we have a lot of watering to do. In summer, this is getting more difficult. When the temperatures go up, we might have to water even more. Takes a lot of water to keep seedlings healthy. Earlier in this live stream, I watered the chili and they are already dry again. Okay. So now everything that I had here with me has gotten water. Tomorrow we will fix the ones where there's still something to do. Like if I notice a seedling here and there lying, then we will do that again tomorrow. Yeah, the passion fruit, I'm not sure if you've seen it, but the seeds are here. Check it out. These are the passion fruit seeds. I have dried them now. These are perfectly dry, and I want to sow them out maybe tomorrow. I want to let them dry for maybe another day. I was worried that they might have some sort of a protection against germinating too early. And so I'm leaving them dry for another day. But tomorrow we should be growing them. I'm really looking forward. They could be great, could be fun. Okay. Yeah, what else? I still have the avocado. Let me open that thing up. Ugh. Oh, no. No. We're not opening that thing up. Ugh. I will move that out. I just want to have the seed inside the avocado. I don't want to eat it, and it smells rotten. Thank you. I will do my best. We're trying to grow everything, all kinds of different stuff on the live stream, doing all kinds of things, and yeah, we'll see what is fun. Everything that's fun, we will do more in the future. And if something's boring, we don't bother with it anymore. We will see. Okay. I'm always open to feedback, and we're always trying new stuff. Okay. So yeah, thank you guys that you have been here today. I greatly appreciated it. I will get ready now, cleaning up the desk and all. And then I'm taking off for an hour or two, spending a little time with Kami. And later today, I will see what I can do in the greenhouses. Maybe I can do something to clean up, that we can start with the new season. I already have started with the watering. I'm pushing the plants. I'm pushing the grafting stock so we can graft in the beginning of the season. Yeah. There are new pots. I already have some. New pots are coming. New soil is coming. This is a fantastic time for the live stream. This is going to be a good place in this year, and I will make sure of it. So thank you guys. I will be back again tomorrow. If you have questions, write them in the comments, and I always appreciate when you are here. So thank you for having spent this time of the day with me. Hope you have a nice day. I believe in you. Make the best of it, okay? Until tomorrow, everyone, I will be back tomorrow, same time. Thank you.